I still taste the blood in my mouth from biting my tongue the night I paid their rent with the last of my overtime, while my own lights flickered like a dying heartbeat. My name is Elias. 34. I guard empty lobbies at 3 a.m., where the only thing that moves is the second hand on a clock that lies. And tonight, I'm telling you how I finally stopped being their ATM, and became the villain in their story. Most Sundays, I iron 2 uniforms, the navy one for work, the invisible one for family. My apartment sits under the freeway, tires humming overhead like a lullaby I never asked for. I keep a tin lunchbox with exactly $47 in emergency cash taped inside the drawer. I know every creak in the hallway, every neighbor's cough. I'm the guy who fixes the elevator when it groans, who unclogs the lobby toilet at dawn without complaint. They live 12 miles east, in a brick building that smells of fryer grease and regret. Mom, Lydia, works 3 mornings arranging carnations at Petal and Stem. Dad, Ronan, hasn't lifted anything heavier than a remote since his back went out in 2022. My sister Mara, 28, going on influencer, films latte art that gets 11 likes and calls it content. I used to arrive with grocery bags swinging like gilt pendulums. Elias to the rescue, Dad would grin, already eyeing the receipt. I'd smile, hand over the card, pretend the swipe didn't carve another notch in my spine. But lately, the bags got lighter. My fridge echoed. I started skipping meals so their lights stayed on. I told myself it was love. Love doesn't leave you shaking at 4 a.m. counting change for bus fare. Last month, I found a Polaroid wedged in my notebook, Thanksgiving 2023. All of us around the table, my arm around Mara, Mom raising a glass. On the back, in Mara's looping cursive, to the brother who makes magic happen. I stared at it until the edges curled. Magic. That's what they called the $1,400 I wired the week their landlord taped the red notice to the door. It was a Sunday in April, air thick with garlic and forced laughter. I brought a store-bought lemon meringue because Mom said citrus keeps things light. The TV murmured football. Mara scrolled, thumbs a blur. Dad lounged in his recliner like a king on a throne made of my paychecks. Mom set her fork down with theatrical precision. So, Elias, she sang, eyes glittering for an audience, how does it feel to be useless? The word landed like a slap wrapped in giggles. Mara snorted without looking up. Dad chuckled, he's sensitive. I tasted metal. My pulse drummed in my ears. I lifted my water glass, steady at work, trembling here. Mom leaned in. I mean, you're always tired. Guarding a lobby can't be that hard. Mara finally glanced up. It's giving Rent-A-Cop, she deadpanned, filming the moment for her story. Dad cleared his throat. Mara's planning a girl's trip to Cabo. Family chips in. Mom stabbed a potato. We've carried you long enough, Eli. Time to carry us. I stared at the pie. 2 for $10. The sticker mocked me. I heard myself whisper, feels great, actually, because I just stopped paying your rent. Silence. Then Dad choked on his beer. Rent. What rent? But that wasn't the worst of it. I started working nights at 19, hospital corridors that smelled of bleach and broken promises. I learned to read people by the way they avoided eye contact. I learned silence is a currency. Mom praised the paycheck for exactly 1 year. Then, when are you getting a real badge? Dad, guarding couches now. Mara, cosplay with a flashlight. Money became a language of hints. The car's making a noise, $180 for brakes. Landlord's on us about the due date, $1,200 wired before my own rent cleared. Gas is insane, $60 Venmo with a praying hands emoji. I kept a notebook. Page 1, Boundaries. Underneath, blank for 36 months. Last June, the building slapped on a $75 amenity fee for a gym with 1 treadmill. Mom sobbed over the eviction notice. I cashed my overtime, told my landlord, technical glitch, ate the $50 late fee like it was nothing. Christmas, I bought their tree, gifts, honey glazed ham. Dad posted, family is everything red heart, I liked it. Then lay awake calculating hours traded for tinsel. When I tried limits, I can't this month, Mom switched keys, remember who paid for your braces? Mara, I'm the baby. Babies need help. I kept paying. They kept rewriting the story. Elias is stable. Elias doesn't need anything. Elias will figure it out. Mini cliffhanger, the night I missed a shift with a 102 fever, I ate plain rice for 4 days so their week still added up. Another, Dad borrowed my car, returned it on fumes. Mom ordered a $120 ring light to my address, oops. Mara tagged me in a nail salon story, self-care SZNTHX big bro, then texted, Mom says you'll cover. Every request in the group chat home base ended with a dog pile. Elias, be a good son. Don't be dramatic. Stop acting like a stranger. I typed once, I can't keep doing this. Mom, we didn't raise you selfish. Dad, thumbs down emoji. Mara, selfie with fake tears. But the real betrayal was still coming. July. Mom whispered, don't tell your father, just this once, $900. She sent a casserole pic like a receipt. 2 weeks later, family morale barbecue. I bought ribs, charcoal, soda, tablecloth, ice. Carried trash while they debated upgrading to a 65-inch. Mara, Elias has Costco. October. Mara borrowed my card for concert tickets, $240 plus $84 plus $19.99 per month streaming. Confrontation, chill, I was gonna cancel. I paid for 6 months. Thanksgiving toast, to the provider. Dad nodded at me, didn't meet my eyes. Turkey tasted like rust. January. Red stamp eviction photo in home base with 9 crying emojis. I had $1,300 saved for my own move-out fee. Sent it. Ate cereal with water. Wrote no more under boundaries. Closed the book. Then came the Sunday that broke me. Dad's birthday. Pizza boxes, classic rock too loud, new 65-inch gleaming on the wall. Got a deal. Dad puffed. Mom gazed like it fell from heaven. Mara snapped selfies, family vibe sparkles. Mom turned. Elias, say something nice. Your father thinks you're mad. I opened the folder I'd printed at 2:10 a.m., bank lines, eviction photos, texts. Hands steady. Page 1, February 3rd, $1,200 rent. Page 2, March 4th, $900. Page 3, April 2nd, $850. I slid the eviction photo across like a guillotine. Mara, why the PowerPoint? Dad, what is this? Mom, don't be theatrical. I looked at Dad. You said carry you for once. I carried you for 14 months. Quietly. Mom's brittle laugh. You wanted to. I nodded. I chose. But you don't erase it and write useless. Room went graveyard. TV reflected strangers. Dad stood, chair skidded. You don't talk to me like that in my house. It's not yours if I pay for it. My voice cracked like ice under boots. Mom clapped, slow, venomous. Want a medal for being a son? I want boundaries. I folded the folder. I'm done paying rent, fees, emergencies that aren't. Trips. Nails. TVs that appear when landlords call. Mara lunged. You can't just stop. Family doesn't. Family doesn't humiliate. I slid the final page. Autopay cancelled. You've got till billing cycle end. Mom's face drained. You what? Mom's face drained. You what? I set a boundary. Like adults. Dad jabbed the door. Get out. Gladly. I tucked the folder, walked into the hallway. The air tasted like freedom and frost. But the twist, the gut punch, was still waiting in the dark. 2 weeks later, the final notice came. Mom texted a photo, they'll throw us on the street. I opened my notebook. No more rent. No more guilt. I typed, sell the TV. Call the church. Payment plan. I'm not paying. Her reply, so you want us homeless? I want you responsible. She hung up. Group chat exploded. I muted it. That night, Mara texted at 2 a.m., "I hate you for making mom cry." I sent her a budget template. She asked for $200. I didn't send it. The TV sold for $400 on Marketplace. They kept the apartment. I slept 8 hours. My rent processed on time. I ate eggs like a king. Here's the reflection that still burns. I didn't save them. I saved me. If it were you, if love came with a price tag every holiday, every crisis, every laugh at your expense, would you keep paying? Or would you finally close the drawer on the emergency cash and walk? Comment below. I read every one.